We can start today on sitting cross-legged and go ahead and pull the flesh of your buttocks back behind your sit bones. And then maybe take a moment with your eyes closed to feel the sit bones resting on the ground, letting the muscles around the sit bones release. Relaxing the belly, shoulders, the face. Connecting to the breath, and deepening the breath in the belly. Really feeling how you're inflating the belly, filling it up like a balloon, and then deflating, and then inflating the belly and up into the ribs. Two distinct parts. First, the belly fills, then the inhale continues to expand the ribs. And then adding the third part, filling the belly, then the ribs, and the chest. And as much as the front of the body opens and expands on the inhale, you can see if you can feel the back of the body relaxing, melting on the exhale. Upward movement on the in-breath.
Thank you for holding. How can I help you? Hello?
Downward movement on the out-breath. And then staying with your breath, begin to circle the body around. Bringing the chest forward on the inhale, rounding the back on the exhale. Inhaling across the front, exhaling through the back. In reverse directions. And then come back to center. Feeling the sit bones sinking down, shoulders relax. Now we're going to draw circles in the air in front of us with the nose. starting with small circles. So it's not big head rotations. We're really just like painting a circle in front of us. So you'll notice that the head never drops back too much. And the circles get bigger and bigger. And then reverse directions and gradually get smaller. Once the circles have gotten as small as they can be, then you can let your head just rest here. And then we'll roll the left shoulder forward, up, back, and down. Just the left. Big circles with the shoulder. Forward, up, back, down. And then reverse directions. So with the left, back, up, forward, down. And then let that arm rest. And do the right, forward, up, back, down. And then reverse directions. And relax the shoulders. Sinking on your sit bones. Feeling your breath. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, relax over. Bringing the hands onto the ground. Dropping the elbows, dropping the head. And breathing just as we did sitting upright. From bottom to top. Maybe noticing that the belly and the ribs and the chest don't quite expand in the same way, but the body still expands as it receives the breath and relaxes as it releases the breath. So just notice how that happens here. And then walk your hands in. Roll yourself up, inhale. Exhale the arms down. Note the cross of your legs, which one's in front of the other. Release the legs, shake them out. Maybe rubbing the knees if that would feel good. And then cross them again the other way. Sitting nice and tall, just breathing up on the inhale and breathing down on the exhale. And drop the chin to the chest. Roll the chin over to the left shoulder. And place the right hand behind your back with the elbow bent. Moving the hand over toward the left waist with the palm facing out. Pressing the knuckle side of the hand into your back. Rolling the elbow and the shoulder back. Letting the head drop down into the left. And just noticing how the shape that your body's in influences where the breath goes. Release the hand. Bring the head back to center. Feeling the breath here. Just trying to be interested and curious about how each moment and each expression of the body translates into the breath being how and where it is. The ease of it or the difficulty that each posture creates. And then moving the chin over to the right shoulder. Bring the left hand behind your back, over toward the right waist as much as you can. And then press the back side of the hand into your body to roll the shoulder and the elbow back. Dropping the chin down. Feeling the breath here. Expansion on the inhale, release on the exhale. Release the hand, bring the chin back to center. And then lift the head back up. Just turn your head to the left. Bring the right hand to the ground and reach the fingertips away from you. Slow, long breath. Head center, hand back. Turn your head to the right. Bring the left hand to the ground, walk the fingertips away from you. Breathe into it fully, relaxing with the exhale. And bring the hand and head back. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, relax over. Hands to the ground. Head dropping down, elbows bend. Even if you don't get low enough to actually bend the elbows, just soften the elbows so they're not locked, so you're not stuck in one place, and The body is free to release as you exhale. Expanding deeply throughout as much of the body as can breathe on the inhale. And start to walk the hands in, roll yourself up, reach up with an in-breath, and down. Release the legs, shake them out, maybe rub the knees. And then just sit up with the legs stretched out in front and point and flex the feet. And then circle the feet around at the ankles. And the other way. Beautiful. And then hold the feet in a flex position. Start with the hands on the ground beside you. Press the thighs down into the ground and lift the spine nice and tall. Let the shoulders relax down. Seated staff pose. Legs are really active. Spine is lifted. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, turn to the right, crossing the left hand over to the right leg. Bring the right hand behind you. And then check in to see that you're not kind of leaning over, but are nice and straight and tall. And then use your backhand to help you get even taller on your inhale. And then use your left hand to help you turn on your exhale. Inhale, center, arms up. Exhale, turn the other way. And then again, check that you're not bent at all or leaning at all and are nice and straight and upright. Using your backhand to get taller and your right hand to turn. And use an inhale to come back to center. Bring the first 2 fingers of your left hand to your big toe. The right hand can rest on the ground beside you, or if you want a more advanced version, the first 2 fingers can come around the right big toe. I don't actually find that it helps, but you're welcome to try it that way. We're going to lift the foot and we're going to kind of pedal backwards, pulling all the way back straight and then all the way forward straight. So pulling the knee as far back as it'll go. Good. And then we're going to pedal forward. Slight different movement. Beautiful. And then place the foot down on the ground, release the toe. And the foot will be level with the sit bone. So the foot isn't flush up against the other leg. You're still about hip width apart. And then the right hand is on the ground beside you. Press into that hand, lift the left arm up and get nice and tall. And then exhale, bring the left arm inside the left leg. Turn the palm to face left. Bend the elbow and try to wrap the hand around the outside of your leg. Now, for those of you who can, you can complete the pose by bringing that right hand behind your back and finding the left hand with the right hand. Otherwise, just keep the hand on the ground, or if you have a belt or strap handy, then if you don't quite reach, you can grab onto both ends of your strap. I always recommend that you have like a towel or a belt or a strap with you at your class. Good. And then lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, turn your chest to the right. Roll the right shoulder back away from your face. Feel the breath rising up to meet your collarbones. Now turn your head to the left, changing nothing else. Pressing down through the foot and the leg to help stay tall through the spine. And then release the hands. Come and bring that left foot onto the right thigh, just above the knee. Hands to the ground behind you, and then bend that right leg. Push into your hands and bring your chest and your ribs closer to your legs. Keep the shoulders back so you're not feeling like you're closer because you're hunching over. We're not trying to bring the face closer. You want to keep the spine really straight and try to move the back ribs forward. Soften into your exhales. Try to relax. And straighten the right leg, straighten the left leg, sitting back in Dandasana, seated staff pose just for a moment. Then we'll bring the first two fingers of the right hand around the right big toe. The left hand can go to the left big toe or just rest beside you, lifting that right foot, and then pedal backwards to begin. Taking time to go all the way back. But it's not a static motion. It is a circle. It's just like bicycling, only backwards. Just to warm up the hip. And then circle forward. And then place the foot down, level with your sit bone. Left hand is on the ground to begin. Push into the left hand, reach up with the right hand and get really tall. And then lean a little bit forward, bring the arm inside, turn the palm to the right, bend the elbow and bring it around toward the right thigh. And then if you can, take the left hand behind the back and lock with the fingers of the right hand, or just leave the hand on the ground, but press into it to roll the shoulder back. And we'll turn to look left. Really intentionally breathing up into the chest. Turn to look right. And release the hands. And bring the right foot just above the left knee. Hands behind you. Go ahead and bend that left leg. And then push back into your hands. Lift your chest. Send your back ribs and your body forward toward your right foot. Continuing to breathe deep and slow and feeling the breath in the body. And straighten the left leg, straighten the right leg. And cross the feet at the ankles, coming onto hands and knees. You can be on fists if your wrists are happier that way. Mine are, but feel free to be on your hands and just spread your fingers wide if you are. And then dipping the belly down, feel the breath coming into the belly, lifting the chest, feeling the breath continuing up into the chest as the eyes reach up. And then exhaling, tailbone down, belly lifts, head drops at the end. Just continuing like that, moving tailbone to head. Both on the inhale and the exhale, the movement starts in the tailbone. And then back to neutral, please. Lay your right forearm down on the ground, horizontally under your chest. Send the left arm straight out, keeping your buttocks over your knees. Drop your chest, your head. Try to keep your elbows straight so that you deepen the stretch in the shoulder. Maybe relax the head down. And then with each exhale, let the back body sink toward the ground. Pull your left hip back. And then walk that left hand over to the right. Your head, of course, will move as well. Then we relax your head down. And pull your left hip back some more. Notice how the stretch really comes from the fullness of your breath. Stretching from the inside out. You might think about the hips moving a little bit to the right. So if it helps you to feel like you're moving your left hip back, that's fine, but it might resonate more to feel like you're shifting your hips to the right. And then bring the hand back, slide it in, come back up to hands and knees. Bring the left arm down onto the forearm. Slide the right arm forward, just far enough so that the hips still line up with the knees. And then drop. The head drops, the armpit drops, the chest drops, the back ribs drop. And drop your attention really into the body. Get fully absorbed in the experience. What is it like now? And then bring the arm over to the left. Relaxing your head down. And pulling the right hip back. Or if it's helpful, thinking of it as shifting the hips to the left. Slow, long breaths. Bring the arm back, lift up, bringing the hand back in, coming back up onto hands and knees. And we'll come into the full puppy pose, keeping the hips lined up over the knees and just walking the hands forward, sinking the chest, resting on the chin or the forehead or the cheek. Really using the breath so that each exhale is a letting go that allows the spine to drop down even more. And if you've been on your cheek, turn and rest on the other cheek. If you're on a cheek, come back to center. Bring both hands in and press yourself up to hands and knees and round your back. Holding here in the cat pose for a few breaths. Feeling the back body, breathing open. And then relax the back. Walk the hands a little bit over to the left. Step the right foot up. Sink the hips down. And then bend the elbows, maybe coming down onto elbows if you're able. Maybe stacking fists and resting your head if you can, or just being wherever you are. But keep all 5 of your right toes on the ground. And then shift your weight a little bit so that the outer edge of your right foot takes more weight, moving that right knee out to the right a little bit more. Just seeing how that changes the stretch. And then lifting your head and really opening that leg, bringing your right hand to the right thigh. You can let the big toe and the inner edge of your foot even come off the ground as you press open. Letting the left ribs drop down so that there's also a little bit of a turning of the body to the right. And let that right foot come back down. Bend your left leg and see if you can reach your left foot with your right hand. Maybe you can grab hold of your pant leg or use a belt or strap, pulling the heel toward the buttock. And just as we did a moment ago, dropping that left hip down. So it's quite an intense stretch there. So the right hand is taking the left foot, and then we're trying to keep the right foot on the ground and drop the left hip to face down. Release the foot, come onto the hands, send the right leg back. Just sit for a moment. Just resting. That was pretty intense. Give your body a chance to integrate. And come back onto hands and knees. Bring the hands over to the right. Step the left foot up. Drop the hips. Drop the elbows. Relax the head. Maybe even resting it on stacked fists. If you happen to be able to be on your elbows, don't worry about it if not. Good. First, press all 5 toes into the ground. And then press the left knee out to the left. Feeling more weight coming into the outer edge of that foot, but still keeping the toes down. And then bringing your left hand to your inner left knee and pressing away, letting the big toe and the inner edge of that foot to come off the ground if it does. And then drop the right hip down so that your belly is facing left. Just a little gentle twist. And then bend your back knee. See if you can take the foot with your left hand and pull the heel toward the buttock. Bring the left foot back on the ground and drop the right hip down. And release. Send the leg back. Come up and sit on your heels again for a moment. Just resting, integrating, unwinding. Bring the hands back to the ground in front of you. And then lower your hips all the way down to the ground. Resting on your chin or your forehead. Feeling how the inhale expands into your body. And how the exhale sinks you into the ground even more. Explore the fullness of your inhale and the completion of your exhale. Bend the knees. Reach the hands back to the feet. Press the tailbone down onto the ground. If you can hold on to ankles, then you can flex your feet. If you don't reach your feet again, try a strap or some other prop. Really press down into the pubic bone. And then inhale and lift your chin. Lift your chest. Exhale, kick your feet up and back. Take your eyes up. Feel the fullness of your breath. Might be hard to breathe deeply. Rise to the challenge. And then when you exhale, continue to sink down into the ground. So that same principle of being full on the in-breath and relaxing on the out-breath, carry it into this full pose. Feel the chest lifting high on the inhale and the pelvis sinking on the exhale. Nice, release down. Just rest a moment. Breathing into the ground. And then bring the hands under the shoulders. Push into the hands to send your hips back, coming into mecha pose or extended child's pose. Making it an active stretch by pressing the hands forward, sending the hips back, lengthening the spine, breathing into the length. Lift the hips off the heels, spread the fingers wide, curl the toes. Breathe in, exhale, lift the knees, send the hips back, thighs back, the heels down, roll the shoulders down the back. Sink the chest and the spine just as we did earlier in puppy pose here in this full-grown dog. Actively pressing the heels down. Send the creases at the tops of the thighs back. And then walk the feet forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. You just rock a little bit from your toes to your heels. See if you're coordinating that with your breath in any way. Try to keep the legs straight. Come back to center. Push down into the feet. Lift up through the creases at the tops of the thighs. Lift up through the thigh muscles. And then on the exhale, lift your belly in and up. And then slowly roll up, reaching the arms up. And exhaling down. And then step your right foot right in front of your left foot so that they're in one straight line. Inhale the arms up, interlacing all the fingers except the index fingers. Steeple Mudra, take a breath in. And then exhale and bend to the left. Your gaze is probably naturally coming down and to the right. Try to hold one point of focus to keep your balance. As we come into this kind of modified half moon, it's also a balance pose. Letting the inhale lift up under those right ribs, letting the exhale sink you to the left. Inhale up, exhale the arms down. And then step the right foot behind the left foot right in front of the right foot, like train tracks. Inhale up, Steeple Mudra, and hinge the hips to the left, the body to the right, finding a spot to lock your gaze on. Breathe deeply, slowly, mindfully. Inhale, exhale the arms down. Step the foot beside the other foot. Drop the chin to the chest, bend the knees, and roll yourself down. Move all the way down onto your buttocks, onto your back. Taking a moment to take the knees to the chest. And then placing the feet on the ground, lifting the tailbone, tucking it under, releasing the legs, shake them out. If you're using an eye pillow, you can place that on your eyes now. And we'll all rest the arms out away from the body with the palms up. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the body into the earth. Feel the heaviness. Inhale deep through the nose. Exhale, release the jaw, parting the lips slightly. Inhale deep. Exhale out of the mouth, letting go of the activity of the mind. And then letting go of the breath. Just allow it to come and go however it will. But stay centered and focused on the feeling of the breath in the body. Can you be with the breath without controlling it in any way? If the mind wanders away from the breath, no problem. When you notice that you've gotten lost in thought or spaced out, just start again. Back to the breath. Deeply relaxed. Letting go. Letting go. Let go. Feel into your heart. Move fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath. Stretch long. Hug the knees in and rock from side to side. Feeling the ground massaging your back. And come center. Bring the bottoms of the feet together, the palms together. Rub hand to hand and foot to foot. Roll onto your side. Rest your head on your underside arm. Rest your body on the ground. Rest your mind in that feeling of inflating on the inhale and deflating and relaxing on the exhale. Slowly begin to come up to sitting. Let your head come up last. Come into any comfortable seated position. Letting the sit bones sink down. The head lift tall. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, the hands together. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale deeply, breathe in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste.